Welcome to our episode 3 of our marriage series, When Marriage Become Coexistent. If you are just joining us, kindly watch part 1 and part 2 before you come to our third episode. Our third episode, we are going to be looking at reclaiming yourself, learning to love without losing yourself. You're not just somebody waiting to be loved. You are somebody who is loved. So welcome to this series. We can look up and look at what we looked at part 1. Our part 1 was how childhood wounds and trauma can shape how we connect as adults, how we connect with our spouses and partners, how we connect with our marriages. Then part 2, we looked at how emotional disconnection can become a way of life until we stop expecting. We stop expecting to be loved. We stop expecting to be seen. Now, in our third episode, we are going to learn how to reclaim yourself, how to rebuild intimacy, and how to make healthy choices. The 3 questions that will be guiding us will be: how do I begin to reclaim myself? How do I begin to rebuild intimacy? How do I make healthy choices without anger, without desperation, without fear? So we are going to start answering those questions by looking at 10-point series. Our first point will be: start with yourself. Become honest about who you are now. So you're going to be asking yourself, who am I right now? Who have I become? What part of me have become smaller in order for this relationship to function? Is it my laughter? Is it my sexuality? Is it my confidence or friendship or dreams or voice or need? What have I made to diminish in me for someone else to survive? You cannot reclaim yourself without acknowledging what you have lost. Our second point will be: stop measuring your worth by someone else's desire. Your partner's response is not complete measurement of your worth. So if he says or she says you're not good looking or you're not desirable, that's not who you are. Because you can be beautiful and not be desired by your partner. We say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You can be loving and not receive love in return. You have to start by affirming yourself without judging yourself. So you say, I am beautiful, without saying, I have aged. Beauty is beauty. You have to learn to say, I need affection, without saying, I am old. I don't need affection. Affection is not necessary. Our third point on how to reclaim ourselves will be to learn to reconnect with our body. We must learn to come home to our body. This book here, Healing the Soul, has a whole chapter on reconnecting. You reconnect, you come back home to yourself, to your body, for you. You have to learn how to care for yourself. You have to learn how to dress in ways that make you feel good. You have to learn to move to maintain your body shape and structure. You have to dance, to rest. You have to learn to use beautiful perfumes and scents. You have to learn to take yourself out just for the sake of being, out. You have to learn to look at the mirror, not to look at what is a default in you, but to appreciate how beautiful you are. So you look at your nose and see how beautiful your nose is, not how big it is. You look at your face and see your complexion and see how beautiful your complexion is, not saying, I wish I was lighter or darker. Your body is your home. It is your companion throughout the journey of life. It is until death do you part. So you must learn to love it, not to hate it. And especially not because somebody else that says you're not good enough. Our point number 4 will be: learn to express your needs again. Learn to express your needs again. Learn to use statements like, I miss being close to you, instead of, you never want me. Learn to say, I miss affection, instead of saying, I don't feel desired. Learn to say, I want us to talk about intimacy, rather than saying, I miss feeling close to you. You realize the first set of questions is opens doors for discussion, open doors for a communication, while the last set of sentences is a reaction, is an attack. And this brings us to our point number 5, which is rebuild safety before intimacy. Because you have had a very long time of not being intimate, as we saw in episode 2. So you can't now move from not being intimate to being intimate. You can't jump into it. You have to learn to grow it slowly through small, small actions. Because physical intimacy cannot be rebuilt before emotional intimacy. So small emotional intimacy is built slowly. You have to learn how to sit together, just for the sake of it, holding hands, hugging, not because it's leading anywhere. You have to learn about each other again, because once you return the emotional intimacy, then it will eventually open other doors, like for physical intimacy. Our point number 6 will be to know that being close is not a one-person project. It takes two people to tangle. So the question is there willingness on both sides? Does your spouse want to rebuild this intimacy? Are both of you willing to talk? Are both of you willing to take accountability and responsibility of this relationship? Is there willingness to seek help and probably even make changes? That must be done by both of you. And then you have to learn to see in our point number 7. Is it a season you are going through, or is it a pattern? You see, every marriage can go through difficult situations, or it does, even life in general. So a season can be worked through. Say you're going through a season of lack of money, or of sickness, or of emotional, hormonal imbalances, or childbirth. Those are seasons in marriages that can be worked on. But a pattern is where disconnection is entrenched in your marriage and nobody is willing to address it. Could be because of the character we become through our childhood wounds, or we have acquired, or maybe even we have shifted. Our goal is no longer on this marriage. People have moved into other relationships. So you have to know, is it a pattern? Is it entrenched into the marriage and nobody is willing to address it? So the question is, are we temporarily struggling, or have we become two people who no longer communicate or touch or dream or connect, and maybe are not even willing to address it? And that takes us to our point number 8. You must learn to make decisions from clarity, not from hunger, not from desperation, not from fear. You see, emotional hunger can make clams look like a feast. But when you become grounded in yourself, before making major decisions, then you know who you are, you know your needs, you know your values, you know your boundaries, and therefore you are able to seek counsel. So you are not using another person to escape your loneliness. You are not using another relationship to escape your loneliness. You are addressing these things from a point of clarity. And that takes us to our point number 9, where we say healthy choices are not always about staying or leaving. Because most of the times in a marriage situation, when we have issues, we are told you can stay, you can leave, don't do what, property. All these things come across in when we have had issues in the marriage, when we have started to coexist. But as a person or as a couple, you need to have an honest conversation. You have to consider maybe couple counseling. You have to pursue individual healing, where we've talked about reclaiming yourself by yourself, not for others. You must learn by your own self to establish health boundaries, so that you don't allow yourself to be closed, or you don't allow people to define your worth, or who you are, or how you feel. You have to rebuild what can be rebuilt. Some things are temporarily gone. You can't try to put them together, because the more you try to put them together, the more you lose yourself. So take space when clarity is needed. Sometimes in some situations, you realize that relationships cannot continue in the form they are. They have to completely change, redefine them, reposition them. And that is still okay. For you to be able to reclaim your life, which is our point number 10, you have to make your entire healing project personal. It has to stop being about getting your spouse to desire you to you desiring yourself. You must learn you are a person before you are a spouse. You are a human being before you got married. You lived and you had everything you needed before you joined in holy matrimony. So marriage is just a part of your life. It should not define or become in entirety your identity. So you must learn to return to yourself. Like we said, reconnect with your body. Return to your dreams. Return to your friendships. Return to your body, your voice, your purpose, your joy. Reclaim your own life so that you're able to connect from a point of clarity. So we are saying, in conclusion, we are saying that you have to learn to come home to yourself. You have to learn to tell yourself the truth. You must have the difficult conversation with yourself and then decide whether you need help and seek it if you need it. You have to rebuild what can be rebuilt and leave what cannot be rebuilt. You have to know to reposition or to redefine the relationship when need be. You must learn to release what needs to be released. Because you're not just someone waiting to be chosen. You are someone learning to choose yourself. This is the statement we began this series with. And yourself includes your wisdom, your dignity, your love, your identity. And this marks the end of that series when marriage becomes coexistence. Leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, and like this video. Thank you.